Now, this one right here doesn't do much at all, but if you search recursion, it literally just says, now this one doesn't really change much of anything at all, but if you search recursion, what ends up happening is it basically makes it... How are all you doing out there, all you amazing people? Welcome to a really cool video that I've been thinking about doing for quite some time. Now, of course, we haven't had a video on this channel about a week or two. Things got a little hectic. I was supposed to put one out last week. Unfortunately, my grandma did pass away earlier that week, and then we had the wake and the funeral and everything, and then I was down the shore visiting my family for Memorial Day, and things just kind of, well, slipped away from me. Either way, though, we're back and ready to have some fun as always. We got 2 videos every single week coming at you, back on schedule. And today, we are doing some secret Easter eggs you might not know about Google. Now, I was inspired to make this video because I was looking around on the internet one day, and I discovered something really interesting called Thanos Snap feature on Google. So what I ended up doing was I searched it around here, and if you go ahead, and this is just one of the many things out there, right? If you just go ahead and search Thanos, right? So you go right here, Thanos, boom. Well, I mean, it just pulls up a picture or a page of Thanos, right? Well, that's where you're wrong. If you go ahead and click this hand right here. Now, once again, this is on normal Google Chrome. I don't know how long this is going to exist for, but you click that hand, it snaps, and articles just literally start to disappear. Web pages, pictures, related links. I mean, it literally just vanishes, it just like in the Avengers movie. Now, of course, there's no spoiler. That happened literally like in the movie over a year ago. Not the most recent one, but, or maybe it did happen again. But either way, take a look at all that. I don't know, I just found that really cool. So once I discovered this, I started thinking, I'm like, what could we do that's different and cool? There's gotta be more things just like this. And then I went deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. I mean, there's some really crazy stuff that you could do. Some of the stuff is less so. But one of the wild ones was something I actually knew about a couple years back, and I decided to try and redo it again, and it turns out you still can do it. So what this thing is actually a game that you could play even if your Google Chrome is offline. So I guess it's pre-downloaded on your computer if you download Chrome. I'm not really sure how that works. But if you're in offline mode, you just hit the spacebar immediately and it'll pull up the dinosaur game. Now, for those of you that don't want to disconnect your internet to play it, you could do something like this, Chrome : //dino, all one word, and it'll pull up the no internet screen. Now that dinosaur right there, little known fact, is actually part of a game. Look at this. We're hopping right in. The game gets progressively harder and harder. There really is no way to win. There's actually someone out there who programmed their very own AI in order to try and beat the game, and it just kind of kept going on forever and ever and getting progressively harder and harder and harder and faster and faster and faster, and eventually they just kind of pulled the plug on it because, well, it would have never ended. But it literally just starts going so fast that there's no way any human being could have possibly beaten the game. Well, there we go. I got 335. Let me know if you guys can beat that score. Now, of course, for those of you that are familiar with Easter eggs on Google, you probably already know about that one. And in fact, you're probably going to know about this one as well. However, if you think that's the only game, think again. You can actually go ahead and type in Play Snake. And when you do that, boom, right here, you just play the game all in browser. So there we go. If you don't know how Snake works, pretty much your goal is to get as big as possible by eating these apples. However, at the same time, if you touch yourself or the walls, you end up losing. So the game, same thing as the Dino game, gets progressively harder and harder and harder as time goes on, and boom, then you die. So there's that. You could also do solitaire as well, which I'm trying to remember. Is it just play solitaire? Nope. For this one, I think you literally just type in solitaire. Let's see. Well, yeah, I just totally misspelled solitaire. Solitaire. Boom. There it is. And then you just hit play, and you are good to go. Choose your difficulty, easy or hard, and you can just kind of have fun from there. I'm not going to make you suffer through an entire game of solitaire. Just kind of want to show you guys that. Now, games aside, some other cool stuff you could do is you can actually mess around with the way that words, text, and pictures are displayed on the page. If you type in things like askew, for instance, everything is literally askew. I'm moving my webcam over to the other side for this part here so you can see, but take a look. It literally tells you the definition of askew, not in a straight or level position, and as you can see, everything is slightly on a slant downwards. I mean, honestly, I'd kind of go crazy if I had to just keep searching through Google like this. It's not too fun. Also, I feel bad for this guy, Luke Askew. Can you imagine you just go to search your last name, and anytime you do, you have to suffer through the fact that the screen is askew? I feel very bad for you, Luke Askew. Mr. Askew. I'm sure there's a way to shut it off. I just personally don't really know how. Now, this one doesn't change much at all, but if you search recursion, right? and you pull it up, it'll automatically tell you that it's misspelled even though it's not. So it says, did you mean recursion? But if you look, that's exactly how I spelt it in the first place. So there's really no difference at all. The reason for it is the definition comes up here, the repeated application of a recursive procedure or definition. So it's just repeating itself. Like I said, it's not really the craziest thing that you can find on here. I mean, obviously we were playing a game with dinosaurs in an offline Google browser, but it's still pretty cool. It's interesting nonetheless. And of course, Google, being as smart as they are, they have the answer to everything. And I mean literally everything. If you do the answer to the life, the universe, and everything, which is obviously from a very popular book. I'll leave that one for you guys to discover yourself if you don't know what it is. But if you hit enter, boom, it gives you the answer, 42. And once again, if you know the book, then you know why that's the answer. If you don't know the book, well, oh well. Here's a big hint about it, though. The book's literally right here. It's right here. It's right here on the side. You can't miss it. Now this one, I'll admit, I don't really know fully about because I never played StarCraft. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you out there probably did play StarCraft if you're gamers. I've never played it myself, though. However, apparently this is some kind of reference to the game. It's a fun one. If you type Zerg Rush, there it is. Take a look. So it basically makes these little O's pop up on screen, and you can actually click them and try to delete them. Isn't that interesting? So I guess I don't know if there's a game to it if you're trying to stop them from getting to the edge of the screen. Oh, wow, yeah, look at that. It actually starts to count them up and everything like that. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, apparently this is some kind of reference to the game. Like I said, I wish I knew. Maybe one day I'll play StarCraft, but today is not that day. Now, this one is for people who have a lot of time on their hands. It could take 30 minutes to an hour, and the game is relatively pointless. Now, this next one's a little complicated to get to. However, I'd only recommend doing it if you have a lot of time on your hands. It can take between 30 minutes and an hour to actually complete the game. I've never done it myself, but it's out there for those of you that are interested. So the way you do it is simple. Type in the search bar here, text adventure, hit send, and then while you're on text adventure, hit the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, go down to more tools, then developer tools, then you hit the console button right here, and then you scroll on up, and you'll notice in the text of the console of this specific web page. I know this is crazy how far down the rabbit hole you got to go to find this. Would you like to play a game? Yes or no? So right down here, you then type in yes, and from there, you are off to the races. It's an entire game you play down here in your console. The goal of it is to try and reunite the letter G with all of your friends along the way, which are obviously O-O-G-L-E. It's an interesting, fun little concept, but like I said, you need a lot of time on your hands to beat this game. Now, like I said, there's tons of these, so I'm going to leave you guys to discover them for yourselves. Now, for those of you out there that don't want to go ahead and just start searching all the web to find this, I'm going to put a link in the description to where you can find all the ones I used in this video and some additional ones. That way you can have some fun and try them out for yourself. That being said, I'm going to leave you with one more final one that I just think is absolutely hilarious, especially if you know the Lord of the Rings movies. For this, you go on over to Maps, and if you go here and search for directions, I don't want text adventure as directions, but you search for directions from, I think it's just Shire to Mordor, and you search, or maybe it's the Shire, and let's try again, the Shire to Mordor. All right, I think we're going to get this, because I think it got messed up there for a second, so we're going to do the Shire to Mordor, not Mordor Tattoo. There we go. And no, it still thinks we're trying to go to a real place. But let me know in the comments section if you guys know of any other ones out there that I might have missed. I mean, there's tons of them, so let me know which ones are your favorites. Apart from that, though, take care. Thanks for joining us today. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye! Now, of course, it's a time-old classic game. However, now, I mean, all you do is type in text adventure. You ready for this? And boom, it comes on up. Wait. Now, of course, for those of you that are... Now, of course, for those of you that are familiar with Easter eggs on Google, you probably already know about that one. And in fact, you're probably going to know about this one as well. However, if you think that's the only game, think again. You can actually type in play snake. I mean, all you do is type. I mean, all you do is. I'm gonna do.